9, 10, do it again.
I was a graphic designer for the first year in college. I went just at the time where graphic design was shifting over from handset type to computers. So my degree was instantly void and null. I mean, it was just outdated. I guess one thing led to another, and I ended up opening up an alterations and custom sewing shop when I was in Iowa City. And I did that for many years. Met my husband, we moved to Missouri, and decided that I really wanted to go back and explore a more creative, or creative in a different way, environment. Became more and more interested in glass and was doing it as a hobby, stained glass. And met a friend who had a kiln, and we melted some crap in her kiln. When I started doing kiln casting and fusing and slumping and earnestness, I eventually fell back to what I was most comfortable and best at, which was sewing. So all of my work now has this real domestic, nurturing, kind of falling back on crafts that are typically women's work. So it's a lot of sewing, a lot of cooking, a lot of cutting and fitting and arranging and decorating, and all of those things are kind of in the back of my mind when I'm making my work. The first step in making the twigs was to make a mold. Since I was going to need 300 or so, and I didn't want all the twigs to look the same. I made 5 different molds of different sizes and configurations. The thermoconcrete molds are coated with several coats of kiln wash and potter's plaster to keep the glass from sticking to it. Just when you thought the upstairs was messy, I do all the really messy stuff in the basement. And then the glass billets are broken up and placed into the mold. Double check, make sure I didn't leave anything just fine for soak. I felt this one move as I flipped it over, so it's going to be fine. So the next thing I do to these is they have some very sharp shards from when the chunks of glass have hung up on the sides of the mold. I have to grind those off. Seeing them in a big pile like this, all sorts of opportunities have come to mind to play with them a little bit, so I want to do that too before he crates them up and I don't see them for 3 months. But I've gotten some good photographs, and maybe I'll put them outside. Maybe I'll dangle them from the ceiling for a little bit. It's just so beautiful. I'm really pleased. I think there's going to be a lot of twigs coming from Missouri, because not only are the local artists here contributing, but I have contacts in St. Louis, and a woman there actually set up a workshop where a group of them got together and made twigs. So those will be coming soon. So, people are using the communal nest as an opportunity to get together and share ideas and try new stuff. All of them a little different sizes. These will help to make up the interior lining of the nest. About 50 so far. I'd really like closer to 200 making up the lining of the nest. So we'll see. And as the nest travels, artists will be invited continually to add to the nest. In this case, the word woman is written down the twig, and then there's an impression of a face. And I'm really impressed on the detail that she got, because these are just sand cast. So this is really amazing. So my friend Gloria and her son made this fabulous beaded twig, and her son whittled the bark off of a maple twig, and the two of them beaded it together. And these twigs came from my friend Susie Fiegel up the street. She owns Village Glassworks, and she got good results. There's no devitrification, which is a scum that kind of occurs if a glass isn't formulated well for whatever activity it's being forced to do. And they're nice and clear, they melted well. She's a fiber artist. I like that artists from all different mediums are able to participate in the communal nest. They were all done in a workshop in St. Louis. A woman there at the Craft Alliance organized the workshop, and they sent me this really fabulous box of twigs, but no names, no quotes. And this is from Peter Cummings. Hampton Park, Australia. Oh, this is excellent. Perfect packing. Good sturdy twig. And Peter engraved his quote on the backside. Everywhere and always, one leaves behind a part of oneself. It's okay. I mean, that's all part of community, is not really, not everybody gets credit. But it's such a great twig, and I really like that she and her son worked on it together. Which is really beautiful. So this is the twig that has traveled the furthest so far. Creating art is a very private, isolationist sort of activity. So the opportunity to reach out and contribute to a bigger art project, and artists do this all the time. They donate time, they donate work. It's a good one. I knew it would happen, but it's really great
getting the boxes, and people have spent time making the twigs, making them special, packing them and shipping them all so that they can be added to the communal nest. So I think as it travels, it will evolve into this really wonderful thing that, I didn't think of this. Another one to add to the nest.
My name's Brian Glasgow. I'm Susan's husband of 20 years, and I do a lot of the tech stuff here in the studio. Keep the lights on, and the kiln's running, and the van full of gas, and database going, and all that kind of stuff.
Do we have enough packing materials, or do we need to order
I have 2
some
more rolls upstairs, so that's enough for 50 more twigs. But if you're going to do more than 50, I'll order some more.
Okay.
Oh, I'm packing up the twigs. I've been trying to do 50 twigs a week or so. So built a crate and started building my little envelopes out of the styrofoam tubes, stuffing the tubes and wrapping them up and putting them in the crates. As soon as we get another crate full, I'll build another one and bring it over here. I guess I can get about 25 in a crate. We're looking at about 150 of them all together, so about 6 crates altogether. And that's it for today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 right now. Another day in the life, though. We still have probably at least 2 more crates to go.
The one thing that I know is when I get into the van, I just accept whatever is done, and I'm okay with that. But right up until that moment of shutting the door in the van, it's basically just run. So I have 2 days. It's all right. Ryan is going to load the crates in the van, and he has made this really fabulous dolly with his new welder.
So the idea here is 0 drama.
Yeah, I feel really good about the amount of work that got done in the last 6 months. And hopefully I've prepared myself enough so that it will just fall together when it comes to Pittsburgh. It looks fabulous. I think it exceeds my expectations. And really that was the main focus of the exhibit. So everything else that happens is just fluffy feathers. Everybody here has been very helpful. And just, I ask for stuff and they do their darndest to make it happen. I wanted to build a giant nest, and this is the perfect situation for it. I was familiar with the Glass Center's gallery space, and I've been doing a 3-month residency here at the Pittsburgh Glass Center since July, and this is the closure of the 3-month stay that I've had here. I did make all of these, yeah. I feel like me being available here to answer questions has been enlightening for me, because I get people's first response to the nest. Artwork's not just about the object, but about the communication. So it was good.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, people ask, what it means, and to me it means nurturing and growth. Up until this point, I've been just swept away by momentum, getting the twigs done, getting the nest ready. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for better tech support, especially the last few days, because I did find that I couldn't build it by myself. We had many long nights, Laura and I, so she was passing twigs into me, and I was able to build the interior. And then when there was no more room for me, she actually yanked me out of the nest. Really, that's an appropriate metaphor for the nest, where you outgrow it, and you just jump from it, and then you're on the outside.
Fascinated with the messiness of art. When you see art displayed in the art gallery, it just looks so clean and perfect. And in reality, this is the way it starts.